In some of your presentations, you're probably going to have pictures, shapes, and text boxes all on the same slide. And to get everything to look right, you'll need to know how to arrange the objects. We're going to go over the different options that you have. In this example, I have several copies of the same picture, and right now they're in kind of a random arrangement. I want to align them so that they're all in a row. I could drag each one individually, but I can also get PowerPoint to align them for me. You'll first need to select all the objects that you want to align. Just click and drag over the objects to make a selection box. Once you let go, all of the items will be selected. Go to the Format tab and click the Align command. You'll have 6 different alignment options. I'm going to choose Align Bottom. This has aligned the bottom edges of each object. Now, they didn't move to the bottom of the slide, they only moved just enough to be aligned. If you wanted to align them with the bottom of the slide, you could go back to the Align command and check Align to Slide. And now when you click Align Bottom, they'll move to the bottom edge. Now, they still don't look quite right. Even though they're aligned, they're not the same distance from one another. To fix that, we'll need to distribute the objects. Go back to the Align command, and then select Distribute Horizontally. And now they look perfect. Let's look at another example. Here, I have a few objects behind a colored rectangle. I want the objects to be in front so that the rectangle becomes the background. Whenever you have overlapping objects, they have a specific ordering, and sometimes you'll need to change it to get everything to look right. On the Format tab, there's a Bring Forward command and a Send Backward command. If I click Send Backward, it moves the shape back one level. If there are multiple objects on the slide, you may need to click the command several times to get the look you want. Or you can click Send to Back, and the selected object will move behind all the other objects. And there's just one more thing I want to change here. I'd like to flip this image around so that it's facing the other way. The Rotate and Flip options are on the Format tab, but since I'm on the Home tab, I'm going to go ahead and use the Arrange command, which has the same arrangement options as the Format tab. Go down to Rotate and select Flip Horizontal. I finally have all of these objects arranged exactly how I want them, and I don't want them to change. So I'm going to group the objects into one big object. Select all of the objects you want to group, and then click on Arrange, and then Group. And again, you can do this from the Format tab if you'd prefer. It's up to you. Now we have a grouped object, and you can move it or even resize it, and everything will stay together. Practice using different arrangement options, and once you're comfortable with them, you'll be able to create more complex presentations that have lots of pictures, shapes, and other objects.
With SmartArt, you can present information in a more visual way, using graphics and diagrams instead of regular text. Not only can this add more color and impact to parts of your presentation, it can also help you illustrate ideas that may be difficult to put into words. In this example, I'd like to create a graphic that illustrates the chain of command listed here. One way to do this is to take our existing text and convert it to SmartArt. First, select the text you want to use, then go ahead and right-click. Mouse over Convert to SmartArt, and a little menu will appear. Your options will be somewhat limited because it's harder for PowerPoint to translate content this way. I want a little more flexibility, so I'm going to show you how to create SmartArt from scratch. To get started, go to the Insert tab, then click the SmartArt command. A window will appear where you'll find a list of categories, the options you have to choose from, and also a preview to the right. The type of graphic I'm looking for should be listed under Hierarchy. Why don't we try this one? When you're ready, click OK, and the graphic will be added to your presentation. Now you can just click inside one of the shapes, and start entering your text. PowerPoint will even resize it automatically to make sure all the information fits. Alternatively, you can click the tiny arrow on the left side of the graphic. This will open the task pane. You can also enter your information here by typing next to the bullets. Either method is fine, just use whichever one you prefer. Sometimes the task pane is better if you're working with a large graphic or something that contains a lot of text. Next, I'd like to point out the two tabs that appear anytime you have your SmartArt selected. You can see them up here on the ribbon. We'll take a look at the Design tab first. From here, an easy way to add more shapes to your graphic is to select a shape near the spot you have in mind, then click the arrow next to the command that says Add Shape. You can add one after or before your selected shape, which will place them on the same level right next to each other, or you can add one above or below. On second thought, I should have placed this one level higher in the chain of command, right below the president. That's okay. We can change the level of any shape using Demote to move it down, or Promote to move it up. You can also adjust your layout from within the task pane. I'll use the same shape to demonstrate. Press the Tab key to demote, then Backspace to promote it again. It's a lot like creating an outline with a multi-level list. You can even add bullets to the list by pressing Enter, which will create another shape in the graphic. Now I'm going to go ahead and delete the shapes I'm not using by selecting them both, then pressing Backspace or Delete on my keyboard. Now my SmartArt is almost done. It's just a little plain. So the next thing I'd like to show you is how to change the look of your graphic using SmartArt styles. Click the drop-down arrow here to see the full list of styles, and as always, mouse over the options for a preview. I think I like this one the best. I recommend taking a look at colors too. Just click the Change Colors command. These come from whatever theme or color palette you've applied to your presentation, so your options will vary. Finally, it's never too late to change the layout of your graphic. Your choices can be found in the Layouts group. I'd like to try something a little more outside the box. How about this? If you prefer to format the graphic yourself, instead of relying on the built-in styles and colors, just switch over to the Format tab. Here you can fine-tune the shapes, change the text properties, and even apply special effects, like a drop shadow. SmartArt makes it easy to present information that's both eye-catching and easy to understand. It's a great way to incorporate more visuals into your presentation, no matter what your skill level is with graphics.